and sell the dream. Market mayhem, we're the kings. Trade like rebels, break the strings. Numbers dance, we call the bluff. Cash or crash, we've had enough.
Step one, wake up early, go rise the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Let's see if there we go. Sorry about that, folks. It was working right before the show, and like always, you know what it does. As soon as I go live, it stops working. But good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge and financial freedom. Today, we've got a few headlines to go over. We want to talk about some AI. We did a show with CCM talking about AI and what could potentially be coming in our future. I gave about a 10-year deadline to start seeing some big things in the job markets. And we got a news article that'll be touching on that headline. We've got tariff dividends and shutdown signals coming our way as well. So we'll be talking about some of those. But before we get to all of that, you know what I got pulled up in the background? It's that stock heat map. So let's get prepped for some success today. We've got quite a bit going on this morning in the pre-market. We've got Apple sitting up 0.38%. We've got Nvidia up 3.25%. Berkshire Hathaway sitting down 0.43%. Amazon sitting up 1.28%. We've got Eli Lilly up 0.6%. We've got ExxonMobil up 0.2%. We've got Tesla sitting up 2.12% this morning. P&G sitting down 0.54%. We've got Microsoft up 1.09%. Google sitting up 2.08%. And Meta sitting up 2.04%. Lot of green in the pre-market this morning, and it's looking quite similar to how the crypto side of things is looking as well. Look at all these nice green bubbles here in this top 20. Scrolling on down here, we've got Bitcoin up 4.1%, Ethereum up 5.9%, XRP sitting up 12.1%. We've got that one on the list. JR talked about it extremely early in the chat. He was here before show started, so we're going to get that one on the list, and we'll take a look at it here in a little bit. We've got BNB up 1.3%, Solana up 6.1%. We've got Tron up 1.5%. Doge up 4.8. We've got Tron losing a spot in the market cap, sitting up 1.5. Cardano up 5.9. We've got Chainlink up 7.2%, taking a spot in the market cap as well. Hyperliquid losing a spot in the market cap to Chainlink, sitting up 6.3. We've got Bitcoin Cash up 5%. Stellar Lumens, one of my favorites on the altcoins, sitting up 11.8%. We've got Leo token holding quite steady, up 0.1%, taking a spot in the market cap as well. We've got HBAR moving up 4 spots in the market cap, up 15.1%. We've got Litecoin up 3.1 and SWI sitting up 5.1. For the fear and greed today, stock market still sitting in some extreme fear, not too unexpected. We did see quite the sell-off on Friday. Markets are not open just yet, but I do expect to see that taking a move to the upside, to some fear. So we will keep our eye on the stock market today. We're still sitting in fear over in crypto. We've got 7 points towards the upside out of extreme fear, kind of what we want to see. But we will have to wait to see if we can hold some key levels here on Bitcoin, get that continuation move towards the upside. We do have some targets above us that we've talked about last week that are still targets to keep our eyes on. For the daily here, we've got some liquidity directly above us. Let's get that to 0.8 because that's what we like to look at liquidity on. We've got some directly towards the upside, sitting at 107,400, ranging all the way to the downside, 107. Zooming this on out, taking a look at that 3-day, we've got quite a bit of liquidity here as well, down on the bottom side. This is a nice little range from 98,700 all the way up to 101,100. So a nice little zone towards the downside we really need to keep our eye on if we don't hold some key levels. Getting this zoomed on out, taking a look at the weekly here. We've got, taking a look at that 2-week, I guess. There we go. How's that liquidity towards the upside? We really need to keep our eye on here. And that's 112,100 all the way down to about 111,500. So a nice little zone towards the upside to kind of keep your eye on if we can hold some key levels first. Getting on over to that Bitcoin chart, we've got our quote of the day here. The ability to be present in the moment is a major component of mental wellness. So let's get that Bitcoin chart moved on over here. Say good morning to everyone in the chat. We had some people coming in nice and early. Pro BTC first in the chat this morning. Good morning to you. Scrolling on down, we had JR in here as well, dropping all those Piper Academy emojis in here. Good morning, sir. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see, we got A to Ace in here. He said he's printing money. He must be in a long. We've got scrolling on down, Donato Cabrera in here, Erica Wallen, and Jay in the chat as well. Good morning to y'all. Hope you're having a great day. Let's see who else we got in here. We've got Steve Hickey in the house. Good morning to you. We've got Professor Carter in here. Good morning. Hope you're having a great day. Let's see. We got Curtis Hill in here as well. Good morning to all of you. Hope you're having a great day so far. We got a few viewers over on X as well. Good morning to all of you. Hope you're having a great day. And we got a few lurkers in the YouTube as well. Good morning to all of you. Let's see what's going on with this Bitcoin chart on the daily because we're finally getting some curvature. We were talking about that ability coming our way. As we started to see some sideways momentum, we got those nice candle closes above what we were looking for as some support, and we were looking for some nice short-term time frame money flow to start coming back in here. We did see a little bit of some resistance at 106,200, but we're breaking above that this morning. We'll kind of have to see if we can hold this area because that next level towards the upside is 108. basically 108 on the dot. That is that fair value gap from back here on the 4 hour. So keep your eye on that area. We will kind of have to see if we find some resistance on the daily fair value gap coming in at 107,300 first. I am looking for a little bit of a move towards the upside and a lower high before we get some more downside action. But if we can hold some of these levels here and end up grabbing some of that top side liquidity, we can make some stronger moves towards the upside. We'll kind of have to see what happens at this fair value gap first. And we will have to watch those shorter term time frames. Taking a look at that 4 hours, so you can see that fair value gap there. It is drawn basically from an area we were looking for some support all the way up to that 50% line on our fib extensions there. We're seeing a little bit of some toppiness here on the 4 hour, but we're starting to get some money flow here. So keep your eyes on some of that money flow here. We've got that volume starting to pick back up as well on the 4 hour, and we'll just have to see if we can get some continuation on some money flow. We do see those topping signals here on that 4 hour. Prime oscillator still sitting in the green though, so to see a little bit of cool off might be needed. But with those shorter term time frames getting some nice money flow, we can definitely keep ripping towards the upside. Crypto likes those strong moves, and when we get money flow, it goes extremely quickly. Taking a look at this 1 hour here, seeing what the morning might be bringing our way. This is that cool off we were talking about on top of that 106,000 range. We've gotten some nice sideways momentum from Asia into that London session, really holding those lows from the beginning of the sideways in Asia, as we're seeing some nice steady money flow here. So we do need some more money flow coming back in here with some strength. You've got your MACD run a little bit sideways here, and the prime oscillator run a little bit sideways as well while we try to get this cool off and then wait for some continued volume and money flow coming back in. That is that thing that we want to see on the shorter term time frame that really bleeds over into the higher term time frame, so we get these nice big green candles like this. Taking a look at that 15-minute, see what the morning might be bringing our way here. We're looking nice and cooled off. We've got those bearish divergences that haven't really played out too hard. They've just been some nice sideways momentum through Asia and London around that 106,000 area. As that money flow is nice and steady, we're waiting on that volume to really come back in. I do think that happens in the New York session, and we will have to wait and see what that area of resistance is going to be. Is it going to be 107,300, the daily fair value gap, or are we going to get all the way up to that 4 hour fair value gap at 108? So that is kind of those levels towards the upside I keep my eye on. If we don't hold this range right here, we do have a nice fib level directly towards the downside that would give you a little stronger and quicker cool off on the higher term time frame. That's coming in at 105. So keep your eyes on some of those levels towards the upside as the money flow is looking pretty strong. We've got Mark Dutch in the house. Good morning to you, Dutchy. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see, we got any alt requests that we need to take a look at today. We had XRP on the list, IGON for ADA Ace, and World Mobile Token if we've got time for ADA Ace as well. He said IGON was more important though, so we got that one higher on the list. If we got any other alt requests, go ahead, throw them in the chat now, and we'll get to those in just a second. We had a few news articles to go over. Let's go over the AI one first. DeepSeek researchers warn that AI could wipe out jobs in 10 years, and tech companies should be guardians of humanity. And this is something we talked about on CCM's channel when we did a whole AI show. Scrolling on down, getting to the meat and potatoes here. AI could eliminate most jobs in the next 10 to 20 years, said Chang Deli during a panel discussion at the World Internet Conference in Shenzhen. During this period, societal structures will be greatly challenged, he said. Tech companies should play the role of guardians of humanity, at the very least protecting human safety, then helping to reshape societal order, he added. DeepSeek has kept a low profile since making headlines earlier this year. The CEO of the Hangzhou-based startup Ling Wenfeng nailed it, has not appeared in public since a televised meeting with China's leader Xi Jinping in February. On Friday, Chen shared the stage with executives from 5 other companies collectively known as China's 6 Little Dragons of AI, a group that includes Alibaba Cloud and Unitree. Cheng said the short-term impact of AI will likely be positive. He dubbed this the honeymoon phase, when AI cannot independently complete tasks and people can use AI to boost their productivity. But over time, the risk could outweigh the rewards. Chang predicted that in the next 5 to 10 years, AI systems will become increasingly compatible, and the workforce as a whole will have to contend with job cuts. During this period, tech companies should serve as whistleblowers, warning society of potential risks, he said. We will keep our eyes on AI as it progresses. I have been talking about AI for quite a bit. We've got a giant stock list in the Piper Academy Discord for AI companies, from materials in the ground to finished product. That is where I have been parking quite a bit of money, as this is a big worry. AI can take a lot of jobs, but in the meantime, we do have a lot of ability to make money off AI until that happens. We've got Redmond in the house this morning. Good morning to you. If you didn't see this weekend's episode on a community and building community with me, LBC, and Redmond over on Counter This on YouTube, you should definitely check that out a little bit later. We'll be doing another one coming soon on how you use community to change the world around you. We've got a few more news articles to go over this morning as well. I know this was all the craze over on X this weekend. Trump says a tariff dividend of at least $2,000 will be paid to most Americans. And scrolling on down here, we've got quite a bit to talk about on this one. President Trump on Sunday said that a dividend payment of at least $2,000 would be paid to most Americans from the U.S. tariff revenues. In the post on Truth Social, he wrote, "We are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin to pay down our enormous debt of $37 trillion. A dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high-income people, will be paid to everyone. The Supreme Court is reviewing the legality of Trump's sweeping tariffs, which he has justified under the International Emergencies Economic Powers Act. Lower courts previously determined that many of the levies were unlawful. The president has floated the idea of a $1,000 to $2,000 distribution to the people in an interview with One American News Network in October, touting tariff revenues he predicted would bring in over $1 trillion in a year. The Treasury Department said in its September statement that it collected $195 billion from custom duties in the fiscal year of 2025. So definitely looking like we could end up getting a tariff dividend, as he calls it. But we do have to contend with the courts first. So keeping our eye on that. There is some positive that comes from this. This is some help directly towards the American taxpayer. especially with how the economy is looking. But this does have some negatives too. This could cause inflation to be increased quite heavily as you just throw out free money out there, because it is free money. The American taxpayer will spend that money, and this also causes your price of goods to increase as well. So some positives, if you use it to buy some assets, you'll probably be a little bit better off, but this also will increase those inflation pressures as people just throw it out there, buy frivolously. It's what we saw during COVID. And COVID, yes, the money helped people stay afloat, but it also helps increase those inflation pressures. So a few positives, a few negatives. We'll kind of have to see and watch as this story unfolds further. Talks to end the U.S. government shutdown is looking promising, Senate Majority Leader says. Bipartisan talks in the U.S. Senate to end the federal shutdown have taken a positive turn, Senate Majority Leader John Thune said on Saturday, with lawmakers working on deals to temporarily reopen the government and introduced 3 longer-term funding bills for some agencies. Asked by reporters whether there had been bipartisan talks within the last 24 hours that had been positive in nature, Thune, a South Dakota Republican, responded, "Yeah, I'd say so." Saturday marked the 39th day of the federal shutdown, which had already sidelined many federal workers and affected food aid, air travel, and national parks. After weeks of faltering talks, Republicans and Democrats in the U.S. Senate seemed to be start negotiating in earnest this last week. Lawmakers on Saturday hope to unveil the full text of the 3 fiscal 2026 full-year funding measures for agriculture, food and nutrition programs, along with money for military construction projects, veteran programs, and funding to operate Congress, according to Republican senators. The proposal would fund those operations through September 30th of 2026. We will kind of have to watch this story as it keeps unfolding. This has been news all over. We've got people in Europe talking about it. I know it has been less than impactful on most people's daily lives, but there are a lot of people that haven't been getting paid. There are government programs that could end up being impacted quite heavily. So government reopening and some deals being made was definitely needed, especially as we watch some of the negatives unfold. Like there was the story of people being unable to travel on Thanksgiving because they might shut down the airports because flights have been delayed over and over and over again, and air traffic controllers continue to walk out of the job. We did see the military get funded, but the rest of these people are just working for free. So we will have to watch as this unfolds, because this is some big news. Might be a little bit bullish for a little while, and Piper will be happy because he'll get his data drops, and so will I. So keep your eye on that one. Government could be reopening this week. We've got Silver Days XRP in the house. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day so far. And he's asking for some ZBEC. We can take a look at that as well. We were talking about some potential upside on that. We'll kind of have to see if that played out. We got any other alt requests to take a look at this morning? He must be an XRP maxi. Mad, I'm shorting it. Oh, goodness, JR. What are you doing, sir? Let's see what's going on. We got any other alt requests? I predict Bitcoin will come from the left and go right on the chart. Yeah, probably. That's normally how that works. Let's see. Any other alt requests? I'm not seeing them. go ahead and throw some of those requests in the chat. We got 4 for now. We've got plenty to take a look at. Let's see what's going on with some gold first, because gold was getting some upside moves. We were talking about some levels to keep our eye on if we got some upside movements, and we're approaching some of those levels right now. That first one was $4,108, the top side of our fib extension, and we've got $4,153 to keep our eye on as well. That is where we saw 3 rejections off of before we got this move back towards the platinum pocket here. We're getting some nice curvature back towards the upside here on the daily time frame, and we'll have to see if we can get that money flow to continue to come on in here. Once we broke $4,029 with some strength, we continued towards the upside pretty nicely here. We will have to zoom this on in to see that shorter term time frame here. We didn't really get a retest on that. To see a retest on that area would be kind of nice on the shorter term time frame. We are seeing quite a bit of toppiness here on the hourly, but it's nice and cooled off as well. So watch that money flow here. See if we get that break from red to green money flow as we're getting that curvature towards the upside. Could continue towards the upside with some strength. Get that rejection off of 4,155 and then see a retest a little bit lower. Getting that 15-minute and the morning pulled up, we are nice and cooled off there as well. Just coming towards the midline as this money flow looks extremely nice on the shorter term time frame. Let's get that zoomed on in a little bit better there, and you can see this money flow is looking nice and strong. We will kind of have to see where we see that first bit of faltering at. We do have our first bearish divergence that is printed on the 15-minute. We are making another high here. We will kind of have to see as we cool down on those oscillators if we get a double bearish divergence here and then get a little bit of a push down. We do have a few areas to kind of keep our eye on for some retesting. That's going to be about $4,080 to kind of keep your eye on if we reject off of that one line on our fib extensions at $4,100. We've been seeing a lot of green moves in the stock market as well. Let's get on over to one of our favorite projects here. This is OKLO. Seeing those nice strong moves towards the upside. We did talk about some areas to kind of keep your eye on down here. That was way down here at $96. We pretty much hit on that level, came a little bit short of it, 97.29, and then we got some bouncing action. We're now back above an area we were looking to hold for some support. We will kind of have to see if we print another lower high here, pre-market opening up massively towards the upside, or if we make a higher high here, get above the midline, at least retest on 125, and continue this trend towards the upside. If you make another lower high, we did have that area down here at $90.24 that we were keeping our eye on. Let's get that hourly drawn up. That 15-minute was looking a little bit toppy, but this hourly is nice and bottomed here. So this was a bit of a buying opportunity. We were calling it out, and nuclear has been getting some massive news recently as we're looking to have nuclear reactors that use recycled fuel. That is that next big push in the nuclear sector. A lot of your nuclear supplies don't get used up in the first go around, so you still have a nuclear reactive material that is waste that could still be used to produce energy. You need better refineries, you need nuclear recyclers. So that is that big push that OKLO is doing. They announced that $1.8 trillion deal last week. We've got Alexandra G in the house this morning. Good morning to you. Drop those Mod Queen emojis if you got them. There we go. Almost put one too many. We also had SMR to take a look at. It was nice and battered down as well. We talked about some few downside levels. It looks like this one is also opening up towards the upside here. We do have a level we will need to get above first here. That's going to be $33.78. We'll kind of have to see if we get that lower high here and then continue towards the downside. We got that nice little bounce off the midline of our CME gap from way back here in May. We will kind of have to see if we come back down, really reclose that. For now, that midline touch is a little bit bullish, and we'll have to see if we can hold these levels here. We do have a fib coming in at the, let's see, platinum pocket there. That is $31.51. We do need to hold that to at least continue a little bit bullish. That was a nice little sweep towards the downside and a potential buying opportunity. We were calling that out last week as well, seeing a lot of bottoming signals here on the hourly. But that daily could definitely continue towards the downside. You have clipping out here. You don't have those oversold signals or reversal signals that have flashed just yet, but they don't always have to flash. That could flash a little bit later, as we're already in this trend here. So we were calling out some of these levels, and looks like it might have been a nice little buying opportunity. We could still get lower though, and that's $25.18 to close out that CME gap on that nuclear stock there. We did talk about another one to keep your eye on. That was LEU. We called that one out as well. LEU did get very, very close to that support line we were looking for, $249.65. That's where we got our candle closes from back there. We are now trying to push into this CME gap we can see right here. We've got that pre-market opening up towards the upside, 307.35. We'll kind of have to see if we get that continuation towards the upside. We would need to break above $390, make a higher high here to really get that continuation towards the upside. We do have $366 being that fib extension level to kind of keep your eye on for some resistance. We've got a few CME gaps as well coming in at 327 to 344 that we would need to get above first. That is an area that needs closed. We will have to see if we reject off of the midline and continue this little bit of a cool off here. So nice little buying opportunities that were heading our way on nuclear. I called that out long in advance. I did end up doing a little bit of buying. We will kind of have to see if that pans out, or if I'm going to get an even lower entry. We will let y'all know as that all progresses. We did have a few alt requests to take a look at. Let's hop on over to that crypto alt page. We've got some nice moves towards the upside. This is Filecoin. Took a look at Filecoin. It got that move towards our fair value gap, rejected off of the midline, and then is pulling back to that 236 there. We'll kind of have to see if we can get some bounce and action off of that. We did see that nice little bounce close towards it. Could definitely come back down to that 236 though. Still battered down. Everyone talking about 80% moves towards the upside, but it's at bear market levels. So I guess that's good. I don't know. This is why I didn't play the altcoin game this season. We've got a few that did do well, though. Zbeck on that list here. We've been talking about that one quite heavily. It looks quite a bit better than the rest of some of these altcoins, though. Not bear market levels. It found some support around the 1618. We were calling out a level towards the upside. We're extremely close to that now. We did see selling pressure above 00359. That was that area we were looking for some support at. If we can get above it, we got above it and then pulled back down below it. We are seeing some nice bottoming indicators here on the daily, and we'll have to see if we can get some continuation of money flow here. You've got that MACD about to break above our indicator line here. You've got that prime oscillator getting that curvature towards the upside as well. Really waiting to see if we can get that continuation of money flow though. Getting this to the 1 hour, see what's going on here. We've got some nice sideways momentum below above our support and below our resistance. We did get that nice move above resistance, little bit of a wick there, clear out some liquidity, and we'll kind of have to see if we at least maintain our sideways range here, or if we get that move back down to some support. 00341, that's where we saw our bouncing at now 3 times and continue towards the upside there. So nice little area to kind of keep your eye on. It has been support through this sideways range here. We marked it on out before. We do have this fair value gap still open. We would have to lose the 1618 though at 00333. So few levels towards the upside to kind of keep your eye on. If we can get above 00359 would be 00370. So we do have that coming in as a strong was a strong support area where we got a lot of candle closes at. We rejected off of that to break below that 1618. That is that next area towards the upside to kind of keep your eye on. We would have to see what we can get up to. If we get above that, looks like 00394 is that next little level to kind of keep your eye on for some resistance. Let's get that horizontal ray drawn on out there, make it a little bit thicker. That is where we got those very equal candle body rejections on the hourly. That is that area to kind of keep your eye on. If we can get above our sideways range here and turn this into some support and see some nice strong money flow. 15-minute in the morning looking nice and cooled off here, but we are starting to see some reversal signals starting to flash as we approach that resistance area all over again. We've got that bearish divergence to really keep your eye on. It is 3 bearish divergences stacked on up to see that give you a little bit of a push towards the downside. Might be something to keep your eye on. You do have a little bit of an area where you could see some bouncing at 00351. That is where we got that nice wick rejection towards the downside. Short-term bouncing level there. Let's get that a little bit thinner so we know it's a short-term bouncing zone. If we come back down, really cool that off. If we don't hold that, coming all the way back down to the bottom of our support might be what we watch for. We are seeing some nice momentum here, but it is looking a little bit toppy. So we will kind of have to see if we get that continuation on Bitcoin, because if we do, this could go towards the upside with some strength. So that's what I got for ZBEC. What was going on with XRP? Because JR was talking about it this morning. I think he said he was in a short. Looking like we're trying to come back down to an area of some support there. Let's get this zoomed on out. Take a look at the daily there. As pulled from way back there. Probably from the 4 hour or the hourly. You can kind of see we got that move above it, pulled back down to $2.5261. We'll kind of have to see if we can get some bouncing action on off that level. Daily is looking a little bit nice for some continuation if we can get some continuation of money flow here. One of my buddies loves XRP. We were calling out some levels for him towards the downside. This was this fair value gap at 219 to about 202. That was our nice little buying range there. We tried to hold it as some support. Then we dipped back into it, held that midline there at $2.10. That was an area from way back there. We've got a lot of bouncing as well. So nice little bounce zone to continue up to some resistance. We will kind of have to see if we can turn that resistance into some support now. Taking a look at this hourly, see what's going on. Looking a little bit toppy here. We could use a little bit of some cool off. The prime oscillator already starting to cool off. Your volume still nice and steady here. We'll kind of have to see if we break 252 and come back down for some lower retests. You've got looks like very equal candle bodies and wicks there at 242. That'd be an area to kind of watch for on the shorter term time frame. 242 to see some bouncing at. If we break below 252, we might just get that cool off with a little bit of sideways momentum on top of that. 252 this morning though. Let's see what that 15-minute was looking like. 15-minute could use a little more cool off as well, but we'll kind of have to see if it comes all the way down to that one. First area I'd kind of keep my eye on is down here where we got all of that bouncing action at 247. So a few little areas towards the downside to keep your eye on. If you break 252, 252 is trying to hold this morning. We've got one bounce off of it so far. You've got this candle trying to hold it right now. So keep your eye on that level. If you dip below it, you've got 247 looking like a nice little bounce zone there. If you get some strong money flow coming on in, our next upside target is 265 if we can get above our equal candle bodies at 256. So keep your eye on some of those levels there. We got IGON requested here. Let's see if we got some upside movements on it. IGON AIG. Let's see what's going on with that one. Oh, look at that. Nice little bounce off of an area we were looking for some support at. 12 cents. 12.2. That was an area we were looking for some support. We got that nice little bounce off of it. We talked about 13.81 being that next little resistance area. We are trying to approach that right now, getting some nice little bounce off of what was resistance, trying to continue this trend here. Looking a little cooled off on the shorter term time frame. Let's get this pulled on up. Take a look at that daily there, and you will see a little bit better where we might get some resistance towards the upside. We've got equal candle bodies at 14.8. Let's get that horizontal ray drawn on up here. That is that higher term time frame. Let's get a little bit thicker there so we know what we're looking for. So we do have a few areas directly towards the upside to keep your eye on. That is that daily resistance area we would need to get above to make our way up to the 382 and 17 cents there. This is nice and cooled off on our daily. We were breaking above our zero line. We've got that curvature towards the upside. After that bullish divergence came on in, we broke above what was daily resistance here, and we'll kind of have to see if we can get some continuation. Let's see what that 1 hour was looking like, because that looking a little bit toppy. We've got that bearish divergence coming on in, secondary reversal signal, looking like we're just cooling off with a little bit of sideways momentum here. That is what happens quite a bit when things go bullish on those altcoins, and we'll kind of have to see if we can get above 13.81 first and then continue on up to 14.8. So let's take a look back at that 15-minute, see what was going on, because that was nice and cooled on off here. It is trying to have this be a higher high, because if this comes in as a lower high, you've got the 236 there underneath us, which would be our support area to kind of keep your eye on. That is 12.75. So IGON could use a little bit of some cool off there, but if you get some crazy money flow coming on in, you will get some more crazy moves like this. So keep your eye on those upside levels. Definitely looking extremely bullish here as you have those higher lows coming on in and the higher highs as well. Nice little bounce off of our resistance line there. We'll kind of have to see if we can get back up to 13.81. That was IGON for you. We had WMTX requested as well, and that'll probably be the last one we take a look at today. WMTX, World Mobile Token. Let's see what's going on with this one. Looking like some strong moves back towards the upside there. fell below all of those support areas we were kind of keeping our eye on. Let's get this zoomed on out, take a look at the daily so we can get that fib level pulled on up, because we are below our zero line here on our fib extensions. So let's get a traditional pulled on up here. Looks like that 236 was some resistance. We do need to get above that 236 on our fibs there to make our way back up to our area that was some support. You can see we got that nice little bounce off of it there. We got those equal candle body closes on top of it, and then that's where we got our bounce from to make this high we pulled our fib from. So nice little sweep below all of this, cleared out all the liquidity. We do need to get back up to 14,331 to really have any semblance of bullish, extreme bullishness. Our daily is nice and cooled off. It's still under ICO, says A to Ace. So, hey, might be a nice buying opportunity. We got some nice bottoming here on that MACD, nice bottoming here on the prime oscillator with a bullish divergence stacked up. True 7 is clipped out twice now. We've got 2 oversold signals and 2 reversal signals. So really just waiting to see if we can get above the 236 first and then continue on towards the upside. 14,331 would be that first little level there. That secondary level we have marked out is the 382 at 1542. So let's get this zoomed on in, take a look at our hourly here. 236 was coming in as some resistance on that fib that we had just pulled there. We do have some levels directly towards the downside to kind of keep your eye on. Let's see what's going on there. We have this coming on in. Oh, looks like it was resistance there as well. So let's get that short-term line drawn on up. 1222. That is an area to kind of keep your eye on for some bouncing. It was resistance here before we got that stronger move towards the downside. We did get a little rejection off of it, sideways momentum, and then we broke through it. We got that nice little wick above, pull back down, and then blasted through. Would have been a nice little clear out of some liquidity. We do have those very equal wicks as well to kind of keep your eye on. So let's get that drawn on up as well. So we got a few levels to kind of keep your eye on for some bouncing directly below us. That is going to be 1248 for that first little bounce zone. That is where we got our equal wicks at. I would expect that to break. If we do need some stronger cool off, we could just cool off directly on top of that, though, with a little bit of sideways momentum. Starting to see a little bit of buy pressure stepping back in here, but hourly does need a little bit of some cool off. Let's see what that 15-minute was looking like. 15 minutes still trying to hold this uptrend here. We are seeing quite a bit of sell pressure directly above us. That is 1281. That is where we got our sell wick and have rejected off of now. So seeing a little bit of resistance directly above us. If we can get above that on the shorter term time frame and then get above the 236 as well, you've got plenty of upside targets there. I would like to see a little bit of cool off with some continued sideways momentum, though. We will kind of have to see what happens with that New York Open. If we get that nice strong money flow, like I said, then we can get 1433 coming back to play. We are looking like this is our local resistance for now, and we've got those levels directly towards the upside to keep your eye on if we can get some bouncing at about 1248. So that was World Mobile Token for you. It is time for me to head to work, though. So I appreciate everyone tuning on in today. things are looking a little bit nice in the pre-market. We are seeing just the slightest bit of sell-off right now to trying to cool some things off. We will kind of have to see if New York Open continues with that strong money flow and we get some continuation towards the upside. We did call out those upside targets on Bitcoin at the beginning. That was 107,300 to 108. So that is where we got some fair value gaps there to kind of keep your eye on for some resistance. But we've got two other shows we do daily here on the Piper Academy. That's that morning market report at 10 a.m. I'm sure Piper will go over in more detail a few of the things we went over this morning, like the government reopening and the tariff dividend. So keep your eyes on those. I'm sure he'll have some of the same concerns on those tariff dividends that I did. We've also got trading with OC at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That is the place to be if you like to make some money, you like to have some fun, you like to put some tinfoil hats on. We will keep our eyes on the news as it goes forward, because there's going to be plenty of news to come out this week as we've seen those first little articles start to dribble out this weekend. But until next time, make sure to wake up, because today's going to be a good day.
Wake up, charts glowing like a sunrise dream. Coffee in my cup, got the tickers on the screen. Wallet looking heavy, but my heart stay light. Stacking sets, not stress, yeah, we'll be alright. Late nights in the bear zone, learn to fight alone. Now the green candles burning through the monochrome. Every dip's a lesson, every loss a line. We're writing our story one block at a time. Well, good morning, crypto, the world's still spinning slow. But our coins keep climbing where the fiat won't go. Another day, another chance to grow. So plug in the stream, let the markets flow. Screens flash red, but I don't lose faith. Pain breeds patience, that's the trader's grace. From the bottom to the top, we just play our role. Turn volatility into solid gold. We've been broke, we've been bold, chasing dreams that can't be sold. Every block, every code is the anthem of the new age road. Good morning, crypto, yeah, it's time to go. Stack your dreams, let the future show. We ride the waves through the highs and lows. Good morning, crypto, let the whole world know. Wake up, log in, and light that.